It looks like any other quiet village. Winding country roads, cottages with ivy-stained chimneys, a church bell that still rings every Sunday. But if you stay too long, ask too many questions, or try to buy even a single piece of land, they'll ask you to leave. Because this village isn't like the others. It's not just isolated, it's owned, every stone, every tree, every soul, by one family, but no one knows their name. And no one, ever, sees their face. Welcome to Abernethy Hollow. Tucked deep into the misty hills of northern Scotland, it's not marked on most maps. GPS gets scrambled the closer you get. Local records show a population of 119, but birth certificates, 0. No school, no doctor's office, no post, and still somehow everyone survives, because the family takes care of everything: food, shelter, work, even punishment. There's no mayor, no police, no elections. The village runs on rules no outsider has ever read. When a documentary crew tried to film in the area in 2003, they were intercepted 12 miles out by a man in a hunting jacket, holding an old radio. He didn't shout, he didn't threaten, he just said, "They know you're coming. You'll want to turn back." They did. Locals from nearby towns whisper about it, but only when they're sure no one is listening. They call the family the Cairns, but it's not their real name. Just something passed down by rumor and fear. Some say the Cairns bought the land centuries ago. Others claim they never bought it at all, they were given it by a king desperate to escape a curse, because the land wasn't always silent. In 1346, the area was known as Dalloch Glen, a thriving settlement with farms, taverns, even a monastery. But then came the famine, followed by plague, then fire. In 1 year, the entire village vanished, not abandoned, vanished. When survivors tried to rebuild decades later, they were met by a cloaked stranger who arrived during a thunderstorm. He carried a single document burned at the edges and offered a promise: protection, food, sanctuary, all in exchange for silence and obedience. What they signed wasn't a contract, it was a binding. From that day, the village was never the same. No taxes, no census, no royal presence. The monarchy erased it from the registry. Travelers were warned away. The hollow became a ghost on the map, but something thrived there. Every few decades, a new structure would appear, built in complete secrecy. A library with no public entry. A well that never runs dry, even in drought. A gate with no keyhole. No one outside the hollow has ever stepped foot inside any of them. But at night, you can see them glowing from the hills. Dim blue light, pulsing. And then, there's the harvest night. Once a year, every villager gathers at the center square. No phones, no lights, no sound. They wear dark robes, faces covered, hands bare. And in the morning, one of them is gone. Not dead, just gone. No funerals, no mourning. Just quiet acceptance. They say it's the family's price, their way of maintaining balance, and if the village ever refuses, everything will be taken. No one rebels, no one runs. Because every villager is marked on the inside of the wrist, a symbol, like an ancient seal. Burned, not tattooed, it only appears at night. And it hurts when you disobey. One former villager, who escaped at 16, was interviewed in secret under a false identity. Her real name, erased, changed 5 times since. She said the family doesn't live among the villagers but watches them. There's a house deep in the forest. No roads lead to it. Only a stone path that's never overgrown. She claims she walked there once, said the trees whispered. The animals watched in silence. And the house, it didn't have windows, just walls that breathed. She described a man standing on the threshold, skin like wax, voice like static. He asked her one question: "Do you want to remember? Or forget?" She chose to remember, and she's been on the run ever since. Some say the family isn't human anymore, that they made a pact, gave up their mortality in exchange for absolute dominion. And Abernethy Hollow, and just a village. It's a vessel, a breeding ground for something older. One archaeologist from Edinburgh claims to have unearthed symbols near the hollow epical to pre-Celtic burial sigils, ones never found anywhere else in the UK. Symbols meant not to mourn the dead, but to trap them. He submitted his findings. Weeks later, he was found in his flat, no signs of struggle. No trauma, just gone, his body perfectly preserved. Mouth open in a silent scream, his final email simply read, "They are still down there. Villagers aren't allowed to dig deeper than 6 feet. Gardening is done by assigned stewards. Any breach of the soil beyond the allowed depth results in immediate relocation. But where do the relocated go? There's a stone building at the edge of the hollow. No windows. One door, always locked. They call it the archive. Every so often, someone enters. No one ever comes out. Government intervention. Impossible. Because legally, the village doesn't exist, and those who try to challenge the cairns or whatever their true name is end up caught in webs of misfortune. Car accidents. Sudden illness. Bankruptcy. One by one. Silenced. But here's the most terrifying part. This isn't the only village. In 2022, a series of identical reports emerged in Romania, Argentina, and parts of rural Japan communities with no legal identity, no external interaction, no explanation. Each one displaying the same sigil, the same rituals, the same harvest night. So, what is it? A cult? A secret society? A surviving bloodline of something non-human? Whatever it is, it's spreading. And Abernethy Hollow. It may be the first, but it won't be the last. Because power like this doesn't want to be known. It wants to be accepted, felt, feared, and finally, obeyed. So the next time you drive through a quiet countryside village and something feels off, no cell signal, no lights in the windows, no one walking the streets, don't stop. Don't ask questions. Don't go knocking on doors, because in that village, the doors aren't for you.